Well, hello, guys. We are so excited to have you here on the podcast. Thank you, as always, for listening week after week. And we're excited to bring on another incredible filmmaker, Films by Rye. Little sweet Riley. She's so adorable. She's young in the industry, but she is going places. And we're really excited for you to hear her journey. Taylor, what did you think of this conversation?
I think it's so refreshing to hear from different kind of like levels of the industry, people who have been around for 15 years, people who are just getting started in business, or if you listened to Mark's episode a few weeks ago, people who started a long time ago, took a bit of a gap, a little hiatus, and coming back. So it's really cool to hear just like the different ways we are approaching the industry, different journeys. Not everyone is like super linear. So I liked hearing Riley's perspective as someone who's newer to the industry and adopting a lot of maybe newer tactics than people who maybe started out in a little bit more of an old school kind of way. So I thought it was really fun to hear how she's utilizing social media and relationship building, maybe like with a fresh perspective than what other people might consider doing. But before we dive into her episode, really quickly, I just have to mention that we are putting on a free training coming up very soon in October. It is called Your Most Profitable Year Yet. And this will be a 2-day training. Where Kelly and I really just uncover our approach to making sure that year after year, not only are we feeling more creatively inspired in our businesses with how we are approaching the artistry behind what we do, but also profitable businesses. We definitely understand that in order to be successful in this industry, not only do you have to feel fulfilled artistically, but you do need to turn a profit and be able to support yourselves and your family and give back to those who matter most to you. And so profitability is where it kind of comes from. So we don't shy away from money talk here at the Level Up Co. We want to uncover all of that for you inside this free training. You can go save your seat for free at thelevelupco.com/workshop. And if you are unable to attend live, we do have replays available. We record it and you can watch it after if you need to do that too. We would just love to kind of spread this knowledge to you guys in whatever way works for you. But yeah, it'll be linked in the show notes. Anything else, Kelly, before we dive into this episode?
I don't think so. I'm loving hearing all of these really inspiring stories. I know that our listeners, like we've gotten feedback from the past, or, we've had this podcast now together for 2.5 years. And it's really cool to hear from the people at the tippity top. You get to hear about their perspectives and things like that. But we heard a lot of people say, I kind of want to learn from people who are like, adjacent to me, like where they're kind of in similar seasons of the business where they are in a growth pattern and what they're doing, what's working for them, maybe even like some realness of like some struggles that they're facing so that we can find commonality in that. And so that's why we love bringing on a lot of these other newer and then also just those who are aspiring to reach that luxury level so that you guys can find commonality in them. So without further ado, let's bring in Riley.
This is the Level Up Podcast. I'm Taylor Petrinovich.
And I'm Kelly Gilster of 618 Studios.
And we are on a mission to help wedding filmmakers and photographers level up their businesses so you can make more and work less.
We want to help you confidently take your business from mainstream to luxury, and it all starts right here. Well, hey, Riley, thank you so much for coming on the podcast this week. Taylor and I have just been dying to bring you on. We know that our listeners are going to love hearing from you. And so we're just so happy you're here.
I'm super happy to be here. I've loved being like, a part of Level Up Co. and really look up forward to being able to chat today and have loved this class so much.
Well, we just loved having you inside of our mastermind. You were just a shining star of a student. And I would love for the listeners, I mean, Taylor and I know now the ins and outs of your business, what you do, who you serve, and what we've done alongside you those past 12 weeks. But the listeners may not know you. And so I'd love for you to walk them through, how long you've been in business, where you're based, and what you do.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm based in Arizona. I've lived here my whole life and I've been full time for about a year and a half now. I actually learned video production and started through video production first back in high school and did lots of like news packages and different things like that and didn't realized I didn't really love that, but kind of had a friend randomly reach out to me about filming their wedding as a junior in high school. So it was like just a, hey, do you want to come film this wedding? We'll pay you like $200. And I was like, in high school, I was like, yeah, sure, that sounds great. Um, and so really quickly realized that I absolutely loved doing that. And my teacher in high school was also a wedding videographer outside of teaching the class that we had in high school. So he was able to kind of help me transition into that and did a couple for friends like here and there until a couple of years out of high school. Um, really just quit all of my other jobs that I was working because I was kind of working some odd jobs here and there and had kind of like realized that this was what I wanted to do and I was going to make it work. So quit all my other jobs and dove into full time, like I said, about a year and a half ago. And it's been going great since. I feel like I was super lucky to have had a lot of great mentors, like starting right off the bat, because really quickly I was able to dive into like the destination wedding videography that I really wanted to get into and like start to do some like traveling and stuff really early on. So it's been super fun.
That's so cool. Okay, your journey sounds so similar to mine. It's like eerie
Yeah.
because I got into it in high school, had a video production teacher, took
Hmm.
me under his wing, also filmed weddings on the
No
weekends. Wow, that's
way.
yes.
That's crazy.
I remember coming into his class like, as the students are filing in for class and he would be like coming off of like say like nutrition break or whatever, and he would be like finishing up some wedding edits and stuff, so like it'd be cool to like see it up on the big screen, and then he
Yeah.
would like bring up our lesson, and so I knew that was very much like another part of his life outside of teaching
Yeah.
video production in high school. So that's so
That's so
cool.
fun.
That's awesome. Okay, so you also mentioned that you really have a desire to do a lot of destination work.
Hmm.
Walk us through some different like regions where you've been working, or if you've kind of now like zoned in on like a certain niche that you really like.
Yeah, I honestly, I think because I am still like so early into my career, I definitely am still testing the waters with like all the different places, seeing kind of like what I vibe with the most. I think I got into destination and like really had a drive to get into it quickly because I Arizona's great, but I also am like super into like greenery. And so that was like my main struggle is I was like love my weddings here in Arizona, but I like just had this desire to like film weddings where they were outdoors and like had some beautiful greenery and stuff. And so still definitely like finding a niche and just kind of everywhere. I've recently, like this fall season, I've had two weddings like up in the Catskills of New York. Like up there has been super beautiful. I'm able to travel to California a lot, um, Utah, kind of all over the place. I've had some in Texas in the last year, and so it's been super fun to like honestly just explore all those different places and kind of figure out which places like I feel most creatively inspired by.
Amazing. Well, Taylor, you and Riley had a one-on-one together inside of the mastermind program. So you got to know like a little bit more about like her goals, price points, and all of those things. What did you guys kind of uncover? I feel like I'd love to hear too.
I vividly remember taking this one-on-one because it was over the summer when my children were not in school, and so I had a gym membership, and I did it from the cafe of a gym.
That was iconic. Yeah.
Thank you, Riley. You do Super 8, right?
Yes.
We
Hmm.
talked a lot about Super 8 and how that's like a really great differentiator, how lots of clients like specifically want that, and that could be like a
Yeah.
really forward-facing part of your brand. We talked about your Gen Z. A lot of the upcoming couples are Gen Z, leaning into
Mhm.
like your Gen Z superpowers with all of that. What else did we talk about, Riley? Do you remember?
It was like a little bit about like my pricing and stuff and figuring out
Mhm.
like what exactly to include in my collections to really be offering my clients the best thing, like really what they would be wanting when they were coming to me. So that was the other thing too, I think. And then yeah, a lot about like Super 8 and all that fun stuff and the Gen Z vibes.
I remember your one of your headshots and you just have like a black dress and like the little like white ruffly socks coming out of like a Mary Jane look, and I'm like,
Yeah,
it's such a good classic Gen Z look and it's so cute and it suits you perfectly. I'm like, I love it.
thank
Um,
you.
No, I think it's good. Kelly just had her headshots done and like leaning away from just like smiling in front of like a white wall, like
Yeah.
brings so much more personality into your brand. And I think it's smart and it's like attracting your people, which is perfect.
Yeah, and it's just so fun too. I feel like it's just like such a fun way. Headshots are such a cool way to like kind of track your progress. Like you can like I can personally look through like I think I've done like once a year for the past like 3 years, like new like business headshots, and it's so funny to like look back and see like how my style has progressed over the years. And I loved yours, Kelly. They turned out so cute.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a whole thing. And that's so true. You really can track like your progress and like your maturity in your business like along the years. Like I did some very funny things with my headshots in like 2011, 2012, and like looking back at all those, you can like really see a through line of the type of client that you were looking to attract at that point, where the industry was like stylistically and like
Hmm.
aligning with that style. So it is really cool. And I love that you do that once a year. I took way too long, but also I had like so many children like condensed into those years. So I waited like 6 years, which was like way too long. So do not recommend. I recommend Riley's approach. That's so great. Good for you.
Yeah, amazing. Okay. So I would love to talk about kind of like how things are looking right now. Like clearly we like dove deep into your business as we do with all of our mastermind students. We like adjusted things. We like had our hands in all the nooks and crannies. And I feel like
Hmm.
coming out of it here, heading into fall of 2025, like things are looking a lot different. I would love to hear like how things are looking. What are you doing? What's working? Like all of those.
Yeah. Honestly, I felt like so confident about all the changes that I made, and it was kind of like slowly through the course, I week by week was like kind of like you would teach us these things and it would like seem pretty obvious, like you would think like, oh yeah, like duh, that's something that you would should think about, but it was like something clicked in my brain where I was like, oh okay, wait, this actually makes so much sense, whether it was like how clients are viewing your website or your social media or different things. I think one of the biggest things for me is I focus a lot of like time and energy into advertising through social media. Like I've just found that that works really well for me. And it's definitely not something that I'm like the best at, because I know a lot of filmmakers and photographers struggle with like consistency with social media, and sometimes it can be so defeating because you like spend so much time putting together a post and then it gets like 200 views and then you're like, oh, I give up. This is terrible. Um, but I think like a main thing for me was really like taking a look at my social media and kind of viewing it as more of like a portfolio and really focusing on curation specifically. So instead of like, I think I had the mindset for a long time of like, the more posts I have, the more credible I am, because, they can see that I posted something back in 2018 and that I was doing video production way back then. Um, but when what was like something that we learned through the course was like, instead of just having a bunch of random posts, like really having posts that align with like what you want to continue shooting and where you want to go. And that was one of those things that clicked for me, and I was like, okay, that's actually makes a lot of sense, because clients do. And something that I had even kind of known before was that clients will book you for what they see on your profile. So whatever you're sharing, at the end of the day, that's what you're going to continue to attract. And so going through and really curating my portfolio that way and being really cautious about what I post, like instead of just being like, wow, I really need to post something today, it's been a long time, I was thinking, okay, should does this really align with my brand? Does this really is this the type of wedding that I want to move forward with and continue to shoot? So and I mean it's been super great. It motivated me to post a bit more as well. Like previously I had had a couple of videos go viral and like over like a million views, but they were always like iPhone videos that like it
Yeah.
literally never had anything to do with my work. And I was so frustrated because I was like, dang, I have these like super nice cameras and I'm like doing all this fun artsy stuff with my videos, and like seems like the iPhone videos of me just like doing something funny in front of the camera was what ended up getting the most attention. But I like really dedicated and like locked in into working through like posting some videos that were really like filmed on my camera and from my weddings. because like that's what I'm trying to market and attract. And I think it was like probably towards the end of the course where I posted like a video. One of my grooms, like he learned sign language for his vows, and like because his bride's parents were deaf, and so it was like a surprise so that they could like be incorporated into that, and like posted that, and it went like crazy viral, like absolutely insane. It was like featured in People, like 20 million views on TikTok, and like I think for me, it was cool to see finally that like my work was actually like getting some traction there instead of
Yeah.
like it just being like an iPhone video. And like the amount of inquiries that I've been able to like get since then, and like honestly quality inquiries that I've gotten since then have been so amazing, because like before I was like literally about to write off Instagram and TikTok both because I was like getting good inquiries but like nothing super crazy. And then after this it's been so great for me, and it's like really helped me be booking things for next year that I'm just so excited for all of them. So it's been great.
That's so cool. So, like, it was just that mindset shift where you felt like you had to show up. Maybe you had seen, like, oh, if I'm doing some of these trends, it's getting me like views, but is it actually getting me like any sort of like attention of attracting the right people?
Yeah.
And then what I'm seeing is that, like, you just needed that, like, change in mindset of, like, yes, I can still post the professional work that is on par with like what would be a portfolio piece for me, and it was the
Hmm.
content within it
Yep.
paired with the professionalness that then actually created this like beautiful juxtaposition of virality plus high quality leads. So that's really
Hmm.
cool. I'm glad that you like had that like that moment of like clarity.
Yeah, it's been super great. And I think like even just to kind of be able to like even like looking through Instagram or any type of social media now, I even will see like other people's posts, and it's like, oh, I like how they did this. This feels like for other people. I feel like my brain has just like a flip where I just do it for other people now. It's like, oh, why did they post that? That's like was kind of random. Like maybe won't attract the right people. So it's really interesting to see kind of how the mindset shift has been.
That's cool. So, curation, higher quality, you now know like the roadmap of the right way to go about social media, which is like literally the wild, wild west. I feel like so many people are just like throwing darts at a board when it comes to social media.
Yeah,
And it sounded like you were kind of doing the same. And now,
absolutely.
after Mastermind, you have that like clear pathway of like, this is how to show up. This is the etiquette of social media when you're trying to attract that next level of client. That's awesome. You had also talked about, Taylor, you mentioned before we hopped on with Riley another note that she had made that has like really been pivotal for her through the program and beyond.
So Riley had said professionalism and client and vendor relationships. That's like a big piece of the puzzle. I feel like it's easy to show up online in a curated way, but once you're interacting with other people and forming those relationships and we're in person and communication, like that's a whole other thing. And actually, I've had lots of students come through the program who have said, like, I have no idea what to say when people inquire, or like, I don't know how to communicate. So, what are some things that you've implemented that have helped?
I think the biggest thing that I've implemented that has made like a big difference in the way that like planners and clients view me as a vendor is how I'm showing up to a wedding day. Like honestly, like it's little things like that we talked about, like what kind of car you're driving to the venue, like what you're wearing, obviously, like do your nails look good? Like what shoes are you wearing? Like all these tiny things that like maybe before I would have just been like, well, I just need to show up and make my video, like,
Yeah.
but if you think about like almost any other career, like you do have to like show up and act like you are like ready to go for the job that you were hired for. Um, and so those little things for sure made a huge impact for me, I feel like, and like I feel like planners like see me, and even if I feel like the wedding is like something that's a little bit more chill. And maybe I feel a little silly because I feel like I'm maybe dressed fancier than some of the guests. Like it's always, I feel more confident because I know that I'm representing my brand well, and that I'm showing up and like kind of gaining that respect, especially as being somebody who's a bit younger in the industry. I want to show up like I am a professional and like I am ready to go. And so I think that has been great for me. And honestly, really just focusing on building those relationships with planners has made the biggest difference because there was like a couple of planners that I would get brought on by every once in a while, but the relationship didn't really stick. It was like a one-time thing, and then it was kind of like fine after that. But um, since then, I've really implemented, even just through social media, like engaging with them, like checking in when I can, even like just keeping myself front of mind for those planners in my area or for the places like destinations that I want to end up traveling to. Um, that's really been great because now I'm getting these leads from these planners because they're thinking of me now and like we have a good relationship because I sent them a reel of like the design or something after because that was like something that I had never thought about before. I was like, I'm doing my deliverables for
Yeah.
my client and
Yeah.
now I'm done. And like being able to be like, okay, this is like a reel just for all the vendors and sending that out, which is such an easy thing to do, by the way. Like it's not like it's gonna take you hours and hours, but it makes such a huge difference like so quickly. Um, and yeah, so being able to have those like relationships now with those planners because they know, okay, she showed up, she was professional, she treated my client well, she treated me well. I want to bring her on for other projects. And I think that like honestly, that has made such a huge difference because I know that I like to work with those planners and it's like so nice because they're so on top of it and I love all of their projects and now I know I get an inquiry and when a planner refers you, I feel like 9 times out of 10, the client's like, I trust my planner with my life. We're gonna hire
Yeah.
you. So there's so much less work too to like convince them or feel like you're like trying to sell the client because they just
Yep.
want to come to you, say hi, and they're like, yeah, we're good to go because we trust the planner and she recommended us, like you to us. So I think those are probably the biggest things.
Of
Yeah,
course.
it's great. A new take on social media, how we're approaching that, a better way to serve our creative partners,
Mm-hmm.
and communicate with them. No, it's so good. Such great takeaways. And like we say to so many of our like potential students and students, like it may not feel like a complete 180 that we're doing in our business, but these small adjustments that we're making are going to like really be what drive the change and the growth in your business. And like you said, like it seems obvious once you hear it, but you'd be so shocked at how many people don't know those things or like don't do
Mm-hmm.
them. So no, it's so great. We're so proud of you. Kind of heading into this fall of 2025, how is 2026 looking to you?
It's honestly, I'm so excited because I've been able to be a little bit more picky about the projects that I'm taking on. I feel like I just kind of passed over into the realm of instead of like every single inquiry that I'm getting, I'm like saying, okay, like please hire me to kind of being able to like actually look at the project and be like, okay, actually, would this be something that I would be like excited about? Because like as a creative person and an artist, like it's been so awesome to be like, okay, I can take on less projects and I'm really excited about all of them instead of I'm working 2 weddings per weekend. I'm like trying to finish all of my projects. Like I'm drowning in all of my like editing work and stuff. And just being able to make that shift, it's been so much better because it's like starting in this fall season. I can already start to feel it.
Yeah.
But I know that 2026 is going to be just so good because again, like I have really been picky about which projects I'm taking on, which is so exciting for me because I feel like it makes a big difference, like when I am creatively inspired and excited about all my projects. And it does make a bit difference for my clients too. Like I want all of them to feel like I'm putting in my best effort and I'm really excited about the project. So being able to really narrow it down and like give more energy into those projects has been like a huge game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you willing to share a little bit about like price point, like maybe where you
Yeah.
were earlier this spring and then how 2026 is looking?
Yeah, so earlier in the spring, I would say my investments were probably like my average investment was probably honestly from like the $3,000 to $5,000 range, and then moving forward, booking 2026, it's in closer to like the 7 to 9 range, which is like a huge difference for me. And again, it just really enables me to be able to provide for myself and do this thing that I really love and feel super excited about it. And so, like, in such a short amount of time, just making little changes and being able to see like such a difference and like seeing like honestly before it felt like when clients had like were inquiring with me and coming to me that it was like I was saying before, kind of still like I'm really feel like I'm trying to just like sell my products and my like services. And now couples that are inquiring, they're really confident like at that point of inquiring rather than me having to kind of put myself out there and give them all this whole list of reasons why they should hire me. It's like people are coming to me and they're like, "We love everything that we've seen from you, your website, everything looks great. Like, we want to hire you." And there's no question in the price either. It's not like, "Oh, well, it's a little out of our budget. Can we make this work?" Which I did a lot of that work to get to this point. So it feels really nice to be able to have someone like see a collections guide that I'm presented and just be like, "Oh, yep, that looks good." Like, no concerns. So,
So
Amazing.
within a few months, you've doubled your prices. You
hmm
can now say no to projects that you're not excited about.
hmm
You're feeling inspired and you're traveling all over, and that's what you want.
Yep.
Like, we're so proud of you. So proud of you.
Thank you. It's so awesome. Like, I love like being able to continue to learn. Like, that's a huge thing for me in this career. And like, honestly, I felt like doing like being a part of the Level Up Co is like the one of my favorite classes that I got to do because it really was so straightforward and like here's like real changes that you need to make instead of like being like, oh, well, that was kind of like vague and I'm gonna try and figure out how to like apply that to my business. It was like here's like a list every week that you need to go change this and then you'll see results. And like I feel like it really did work so well for me, which has been so awesome. So
Yeah. We give you everything to do. It's up to you guys to just implement.
yeah.
I had one quick question go because we hear from a lot of filmmakers and photographers who are, kind of at a plateau in their business. When you were at that 3 to 5 mark and it felt like you were having to sell yourselves more to those clients, did you kind of feel at any point that like you had just reached your cap? Like there was nothing beyond that 5K for you?
I think so. I think especially for like the market that I was in, like being in Arizona and obviously like being newer to the industry and not having as many of those relationships, it did feel stressful because I mean, especially like when you have to provide for yourself and you like want to continue to make this career work. I think that there was a couple of months where I did feel kind of stuck and didn't really know how to make that change and did feel sort of like I had plateaued out at that mark. And so I think that I also wasn't really going through and like making any real big changes. Like it was still continuing just to do the same stuff that I had done before. And I really like with the stuff that you guys were able to teach us as well, that it's about like continuously changing things because it's really easy. Like there's no reason for you to like charge more money if you haven't done anything differently in the last couple of months. Like it really
Yes.
just doesn't make sense. And so I think that like when I realized like this isn't like I'm gonna do one rebrand and now I'm gonna be charging so much money and never have to work and change anything again. It was like, no, this is a consistent like every week, every month I have to show up for my business. I have to reassess where I want to go and I have to pivot and like make sure I'm heading in that right direction. So yeah, there definitely was a point where I did feel that, but it was really just about continuing to like grow and make those changes, I think.
Yeah. And the right changes, like the ones that are
Yeah.
actually going to like stack to create moving the needle in the business that
Yeah,
aren't just going to
absolutely.
be like, yeah, that aren't just going to be like, oh, I could try this or I could try this. Like it's great to have, you know, people who have done it before you to come
Yeah.
back. And we talked about this with a prior student we were chatting with, and how Taylor said, we launched this program in June of 2023. And
Hmm.
now those June of 2023 students, a lot of them have like caught up to Taylor and I. And it's so exciting to see that in just a couple of years, they've been able to experience this level of the industry that it took me 13 years to get there. It took Taylor, 6 years to get there. And they're able to like take all of that, implement, and get there in 24 months. Like it's so cool. And so we're just so proud of you, like to be able to go from that 3 to 5 to that 7 to 9 in just a few months is amazing. I feel like 2026 is going to be that. I mean, you're so young. Your business is like, not even like in baby phase, but like coming out of that baby phase. And you have such an amazing journey ahead of you. And I really do think that 2026 will be like the year that you're like, I found my footing. I'm headed in the right direction. I have that clear path ahead of me. And like, you're just going to go. So that's so amazing.
Yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And it means a lot. Like I said, like I just love continuing to learn and like honestly like adding new mentors to the list that I have because I think that there's just like so many people that have such great things to teach and I've loved everything like that you guys have taught and it's just been like I said so applicable and so easy. Like yeah, you do have to be the one to go out and like make the work happen. Like it's not like some magical like, oh, if you don't do anything but change this about your business, then you'll be able to take off. But being able to like do that work and like really see results, it's just been super awesome. So I appreciate everything you guys have done.
No, you're totally right. Like this is not like a magic pill where like you take it and like your business like takes off. But we give you the system that you need to implement and you are just such living proof that it works. And yeah, we couldn't be more excited for you. We mentioned probably in the intro of this episode that we are doing a free training here coming up in October. It is called Your Most Profitable Year Yet. We will have details to learn from Kelly and myself in this live training format in the show notes, or you can go over to thelevelupcode.com/workshop to save your seat for free. This is where it all began for Riley as well, is at a training just like this. So we are excited to have you join us. Lots of great free information in there that can just really be pivotal for your business heading into the 2026 season. But Riley, before we wrap up the episode, we would love for you to share where people can find you online in case they want to check out your beautiful work or connect with you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm on Instagram. It's at Films by RY, and website is the same handle, so super easy.
Super easy. I
Awesome.
like the consistency.
Me too. Me too.
Love it. Well, thank you so much for your time, Riley. It's so amazing to hear. You're just at the start of this brand new chapter in your business. And Taylor and I are excited to watch what you have ahead for yourself. And it was such an honor to have you as a student. And we look forward to just seeing you thrive in the years to come.
Thank you guys. I'm so happy I could be on. It was so much fun talking with you guys.
Thank you for joining us in today's conversation. Please help us reach more filmmakers and photographers like you by taking a screenshot and sharing it to social media. And don't forget to tag us at The Level Up Co.
And join us again next week, same time, same place, as we continue to level up the industry together.